basically we'll go through the questions that other participants have been through. So
Yeah.
I got like 19 people to talk to me as part of the project, obviously in detail. So the
Yeah.
interviews normally were like between an hour and a half, depends how deep we go and how many times you've moved, because that's kind of the core.
I don't even know how many times I've moved.
Well, actually, it's interesting. A lot of the people, yeah, when we talked about that, they would basically go, it's the first time I've actually put that all in one place. So maybe it's going to be helpful for you to reflect and put that into a little journey. So let's start off with where you're from originally.
So I was born in London, in Greenwich, at home in a bath or in a pool. Any more detail? I was born in London
Okay.
and moved to Sussex when I was 10, and then to Swansea when I was 19,
Okay.
and in Birmingham and Bristol and Kathmandu, and I don't know where else.
Okay.
The last 4 years I've been pretty fully nomadic.
Okay.
But yeah, home is obviously something I think about a lot as I travel around the world. And I've kind of been on a bit of a quest recently to maybe find a home, but problem is the more cool places you visit and the more opportunities you see, it's I think harder to settle on one.
Yeah. Now we can get back to some of this later. This is quite interesting. I'm quite interested to take it from the top. So you said Greenwich, right?
Yeah.
So what was that like?
I mean, I think I lived there for the first 2 or 3 years of my life.
Oh.
And then actually, yeah, I missed out Streatham when my parents split up. My mum moved to Streatham and my dad moved to Tonbridge. And then, yeah, I don't know, it was all right.
Yeah, that's fine. Wait, Stretton, where's that?
In South London.
Right.
I went to this like tiny hippie school out of these wood shacks. And we lived next to an estate, and there was a forest behind our house. So there's like lots of police cars on one side, and then yeah, wicked like Easter egg hunts on the other side in the forest.
Nice. Okay. And then if you're so from London, what do you call someone from there? So
What do you call a Londoner?
there we go. Do you identify as one? That's
No, not really.
Okay. How come?
Well, I moved when I was 10 to Sussex, so I hadn't really started drinking or, I did a lot of ice skating in Streatham, but once Bradley from S Club 7 performed in Swansea when I was at uni, and some of our housemates were well hot, and they were like, "Oh, you should come back to our house." So him and his like entourage came back to the student house, and then they arrived, and the girl was like, "Oh, we've all got boyfriends. Wow, yeah, you're here." So he was just like chilling in the kitchen, and I was just chatting to him about the ice rink in Streatham. And I could tell that he kind of wished he wasn't talking to me about the ice skating rink in Streatham, but every night's a fucking mystery. So it was a sick ice rink though.
Okay. Cool. So you've been different places, and where's home right now? You kind of mentioned that you. But
I don't know. I think I was going to be in Nepal again in 1 week. At the moment, I guess it's been Bristol for a little while. For the last month, it's been really nice to have some time here. When I came back for Christmas, I was here for like 5 days. So and I spent 3 of those, or 2 of those on my mate's sofa in London. So.
Okay.
It's nice to sort my shit out.
Cool. And where do you feel like a local?
I don't know. I mean, I know the fun places to go in a lot of places, so if that's your definition. I know where the party's at. For a while in Kabul, I knew where the party was at. It was sick. It was like really hard to make friends in Kabul because of the security situation, but I fucking knew so many people that I got invited to some well good parties. There was a garden party and they were playing Samsara on a giant projector in the garden. It's fucking sick. And that was silenced. And then they were playing Chinese Man on like the speaker system. And I was like, it's like all my favorite things. Chinese Man's a sick band from France, kind of hip hop, rap, DJ type thing. Check them out, fucking.
Cool shout out.
But then obviously, I'm not a local in Kabul, so.
How come?
I mean, clearly, I'm a middle-class white man. So, actually, at that party, it kind of ended up with me at the table. There was a young female Afghan actress and a journalist who was a trans man from Australia. And we were talking a lot about different privileges and like how in all these different places, different people had different advantages and disadvantages. It's quite interesting.
Cool. And then, where does your family live now?
My dad still lives in Kent, and my mum lives in Stroud, quite near Bristol. So me, my brother, and my mum all kind of came west at some points.
Okay. Cool. And how do you feel about these places? Let's start with Kent first.
Okay. I don't know, and I don't love it. I don't have any friends in Kent, so yeah. Or at least in Tonbridge, I go and see my dad. I love seeing my dad, but actually, I do have a friend, my driving instructor. I'm still friends with him. He's covered in Salvador Dali tattoos, and he lives in Kent. So sometimes I go and see my dad. I also go and see him.
Your driving instructor?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was 19 or whatever. Michael, he's an author. He's selling books on Amazon. Big up.
Like proper books or
like wicked, like sci-fi books.
his own?
Yeah. You're right. It's about I think a lot of ebooks, but I mean, I think he publishes books as well. He seems to be doing really good. I think he's still doing Sunburn instructing. But in Tonbridge itself, I don't really. There's like no one who I'd go and hang out with. Oh, actually, there's a colour grader who lives in Tonbridge. I haven't actually had time to go and see him.
Colour grader.
Yeah, dude who colour graded a film I made.
Oh, right.
Colour grader, colorist.
I didn't even know that was a separate.
Yeah, fuck, I need to go and see him.
We can talk about
But anyway, yeah, Tonbridge is a bit wank in my opinion. No offense to any of the people I just mentioned. And there might be some parties, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like there's much happening. Everything's just shut down. Much like East Grinstead, that's kind of where I spent 8 years or something, 9 years. So my teenage years are in East Grinstead, which it was fun, semi-rural, lots of like walking home late at night because you're drunk or high or whatever. But yeah, it was a pretty good place to grow up, I guess. But then now, when all of my friends, all the people I've been in touch with have left, and my mum's left, there's no family connection anymore. So I went back a few months ago and just saw like all my old friends' parents because they're still there. So I just go and knock on the door, and I've kind of kept better friendships with lots of. So that was nice.
And what about friends generally? Where else?
Friends.
Have you got friends? Yeah.
So I've got a lot of friends in Kathmandu and in Namche and in kind of the Khumbu Valley, I guess. I spent a lot of time there. Got loads of friends in Alaska. Fuck yes. I've been there 3 times in the last 2 years, and that's really where my like dream home is. Fucking hell. That's so sick. I've got friends in Chamonix. I've got some friends in Berlin. I don't know. I just spent a month in Innsbruck to check that out to see if that would be a good home. Like, I love Chamonix. It's so much fun, but I find that some of the local French people have a bit of an attitude, which I find a bit difficult to deal with, especially coming from Bristol, where it's like generally quite smiley and wavy and happy. And I love it so much. And there it's a bit different. But then, and I don't speak any French, so obviously that obviously plays a big part. And I understand that for some of the locals, it must have changed a lot. But it's the world we live in. I speak German, and Innsbruck's bigger, so I thought maybe, and also has skiing all around, so I thought maybe Innsbruck would be the one. But I went there and found it even after, well, just like really hard to make friends. In Chamonix, you can make friends with everybody, like even the locals if you have enough time. I think it's I like trying to wear them down. But yeah, everyone's just on a vibe where they want to meet each other and do shit, which I didn't really pick up on as much in Innsbruck, but yeah, I kind of thought I was broken for a little bit, but then all the other Brits I've met who've like lived in South Germany or Austria are like, yeah, you go to parties and no one talks to you. And I was like, I know, like.
Cool. Right. So, is there any other places that you've lived in that we should put on the?
I lived in Swansea for uni.
Yeah.
We got Birmingham. I lived in Birmingham.
Okay, let's try to put that into a timeline now. So I've got start London. You're gonna have to give me the specific name again because I missed that. So yeah,
Where I was born.
Yeah.
In Greenwich.
Yeah, Greenwich. Yeah, sorry.
On the Meridian line.
Yeah. So I know that. No, but you could. Yeah. What did you call it? East Grinstead. That's why I don't know.
Yeah, that's also on the Meridian line.
Right.
If I found a song, there's like, I think some guys that maybe the year above me or so at the school made a song about East Grinstead, and it's just like so perfectly encapsulates my memories of it. It's like you've got the weird cults like the Mormons, the Scientologists, I guess the Steiner kids, which I guess I was a part of one of them.
Did you go to a Steiner school?
Yeah. Steiner. I love Steiner. Yeah, you know how to play football.
Oh.
Or have a TV at home. What the fuck?
Was that all it was? That's different because I don't know. I just read online what it is, but
no, I mean you didn't have school uniforms. You didn't really, when you were younger, you didn't really learn about maths or English or anything, and it was like you learned maybe 2 years later when you had, I think, more a natural curiosity was the kind of idea behind it. When you naturally start looking at numbers and trying to work them out, then they start teaching you as opposed to earlier. So earlier you're just playing with sticks and building dens and painting and shit. And then do this weird ass eurythmy, which is like poetry and all the different vowels and movements, and it's like it'd kind of be fun to film that one day actually. I don't know. Well, even though obviously I fucking hated it at the time. And then yeah, I don't know. So then I moved from London to Sussex, and then I went to like the King Steiner school, like the hub, the mothership called Michael Hall. But there it was like kind of cliquey, and I really struggled to make friends for like 3 years. Didn't love it very much. And then my dad lost his job, and then I went to the state school for GCSEs and A-levels, and then I was just like, cool. I went from like a cliquey little year group of 30 to like a big state school with like a year group of 200 or something, and it was like, cool, just go and like hang out with the nerdy kids and then fight your way up from there.
I didn't know the Steiner school was paid for. Is it like private schools as well?
Yeah, it's like $5,000 a year at Michael Hall. Right. I can't remember. I don't know. Okay. Obviously, I was like 14 or something. But I feel like it set me up pretty. I was like quite good at drawing and shit. I've kind of stopped doing that, but I feel like it's helped me creatively.
Nah, yeah, definitely. Sounds interesting. So then after Sussex we have is that when you went Birmingham? No, Swansea before Birmingham, right? For uni.
Yeah, I went to uni in Swansea.
Then Birmingham.
Mm-hmm. I went from Swansea back to actually Sussex.
Okay. For a bit.
Yeah, for like a year.
Doing what?
I was going to join the Royal Marines and try to set up a pet photography business. I wanted to take pictures, and I thought the only thing in the countryside that people are going to pay me to take pictures of is their pets or guns. I thought it'd be more fun to do pets.
Cool. Then Birmingham.
And then in Birmingham, set up a little film company with my friend. We started making. Well, the very first job was driving instructor video, like how to check tire pressure with this kind of angry Serbian woman in the car park in the rain. She was actually sound. And then her sons were 3 of her sons were in this reggae band, like big Serbian dudes. And then we started filming music videos, and then one of them like got married, so we started filming weddings, and then one of them started a club night, so we started filming club nights. And then slowly but surely the empire grew.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good.
What have we got on that timeline after that? So after Birmingham, we got Bristol? Or was there anything?
Yeah. So I was having 3 years in Birmingham, and then Deej, my friend, said he didn't want to live with me again. So then I was like, fine, then I'm going to move to Bristol. And then I came to Bristol because my brother was here, and it was actually so sick. And I was like, fucking, thank fuck for that. Yeah. Yeah, I love Bristol. I remember at very first, it was weird, like, I'd just live with my brother and I'd take his dog for a walk, and like the dog knew more people than I did. Like everyone's like, oh Loki. I'm like, what the fuck? I need to meet some people. But then I met quite a lot of people, so yeah.
That happens.
Yeah, Bristol's a lot of fun. I do love it, but I also love the mountains, and I'd love to be able to go and play in the mountains as much as possible.
Okay. So then after Bristol is where we go into the back and forth.
After Bristol, yeah, I mean, then so like for the last 4 years, I guess, since COVID, I've just been like, I haven't paid rent anywhere, except for 3 months in Kathmandu last year, at the end of last year. But yeah, we got kicked out of our house in the middle of COVID because they found my brother's dog. But it was a godsend because then I moved in with my girlfriend at the time. I wasn't paying any rent. And then like halfway through, or the end of 2020, I went to Pakistan and then Nepal, and then I was like gone for 10 months that year straight. So yeah, since then I've just been hooting and scooting and sofa surfing.
Nice. Cool. So now let's go explore a bit of likes and dislikes for each one of these.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, let me just finish that one. So you got Nepal. I think we should probably include the ones that you mentioned in. So we should probably include. Do you think we should include Nancy, Alaska, Chamonix, Berlin, and Innsbruck?
I don't think we should include Berlin. Kathmandu. I don't know, Kathmandu, Alaska. Yeah, I'd love to fucking talk about Alaska. I fucking love Alaska. But
Okay. Did the others make it into the?
Swansea, I guess Swansea, Birmingham, Bristol.
Yeah.
Have we got those already?
No, so I've got you from the start. So we got Greenwich, East Grinstead, Sussex, Swansea, Sussex again, Birmingham, Bristol, then moving. Well, I've put Pakistan, but just because obviously we were there. But I don't know if we put that on the list for looking for a home.
Yeah, not really. I love Pakistan, but nah.
How come?
I think it's. I mean, it's just. I don't know. I'm sure if I spent more time there, I don't like the fact that you can't get booze anywhere because I like to drink beer. So kind of straight away, it's like, and of course, like there's solutions to everything, but it's really nice just to wherever you are to be able to go to the nearest like shop or bar or tea house and like get a beer or whatever you want. In Kabul, you could bring 3 bottles of alcohol in with you, like 3 bottles of whiskey or whatever. But it's like, so if you were there for 2 months, it didn't last very long.
Oh, to bring into the country?
Yeah.
Shit, I thought it was just if you're going into a club. Like, that's generous. They let you if you're drinking.
Once I got invited to the British Embassy, and I had like, I don't know, half a bottle of whiskey left. And I was like, I'm invited to a party, so you've got to bring booze, If you're invited to an NGO party or something, it's like, you kind of gotta contribute. Shit's valuable. And then I get to this house, it's like in the green zone, there's like, go through so many security doors. Those Nepalis actually eggs like Gurkhas and shit. I'd always chat shit with them. But yeah, we go into a house and go to a kitchen, and the fridge is just like the most well-stocked fridge in the entire world. Like there's just beer, champagne, wine, spirits, like whatever you want. And I like put my like a half bottle of whiskey on the thing, and then we have a great night. I actually meet a dude at that party who was like from London, and he was like, yeah, man, it's like really nice to get out of London and like get away from the party scene for a bit. And I was like, oh bro, like I was living in a house down like, I don't know, 2 kilometers away or something. This dude was apparently part of the Haqqani network, like a black sheep of the family. It was like he owned 2 restaurants and like shagging Western journalists, so it was like a fun place to stay. But he was like well depressed, so every night it's like cocaine and whiskey, like let's go. And then I was chatting to the dude from the embassy. He's like, oh yeah, there's no partying. It's like, bro, you just need to go. Just get in a taxi and go 2 kilometers that way, and it's fucking really fun. They like don't leave the green zone at all. They don't see shit.
Okay, and then if I take you back to London and Greenwich, any likes, any dislikes?
I mean, like I was 3, I think, when I left Greenwich.
So no
So
connection.
I mean, it was like, I wish my parents kept that house because it's probably worth like 3 million now, and they definitely no one has 3 million. But yeah, it was a really nice park. I mean, it was like a beautiful place. I was pretty good childhood in Greenwich. But yeah, I've never wanted to live there or move back to Greenwich or even live in London again.
How so?
There's a few points when I was especially involved with girls where I thought, fuck, I want to live in London, but I don't know, I like being able to go and play in nature easily. I love in Bristol where you can cycle anywhere in like 12 minutes. Like I had to cycle like 20 minutes to come here, and I'm like, fuck it now. It's like miles away. If you're in London, it's like less than an hour bike ride. You are like happy days. You are winning. And it's so shit. It's so boring. It's like proper start stop. So here in Bristol, there's so much fun shit to do, and you can cycle around and do lots of it and see all my friends. But neither London nor Bristol have mountains or skiing, so at some point, yeah, that's part of my criteria for a good home.
Right. Cool. And then East Grinstead, and likes, dislikes.
I mean, now like quite strong dislike, I guess, because I don't know. I lost touch with all my friends in East Grinstead. There seemed to be in our kind of big social circle quite. Well, I don't know. Maybe I was just changing friend groups, but yeah, I lost touch with a lot of people. All my friends are people who left East Grinstead, so I've like really had little reason to go back. And yeah, it was a great place to grow up, but if I end up living in East Grinstead, I will probably be, well, I don't know, quite sad, yeah. No offense to East Grinstead. There's a lot of cool shit to do there. There's no skiing. And I don't know how much partying there is either. But there probably is. I mean, the Forest Row actually has some pretty good parties. Maybe I should move to Forest Row.
Okay. Then what about Sussex?
That's like East Grinstead.
Oh, so
Not in the same
sorry.
area.
I thought East Grinstead. I think I don't know the geography of that. I thought East Grinstead was near Greenwich somewhere rather than.
No, East Grinstead's in
Yeah,
Sussex.
yeah,
It's like halfway between London and Brighton.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So you could go partying in London and go partying in Brighton, but you got like you got to wait for the 6 a.m. train or something. It was like there's no easy way to get back. So ended up sleeping on the boats on Brighton Beach. There's always like old boats on the shore. And we were just like party till like 4 o'clock and then go and huddle in there for a couple of hours and then get the train home. I guess this is before I discovered drugs, but yeah.
Those days.
That's how you had to go partying.
Cool. And then we've got Swansea.
Yeah, I was there for uni, so it was a fun.
Dislikes.
I mean, it was a great place to do uni, I guess. It was fun. Did all the dumb uni shit. Traveled a bit. I was in it was a training call, like uni club for guns or something.
Wait, what?
Like it's like the army.
Oh, you were doing that while you were doing it anyway. Yeah. I'm with you.
So yeah, great. Totally did the wrong degree. Fucking didn't do any work.
Any dislikes?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, I left university and I've been back once. Kind of a funny story though, because I quit uni, obviously, failed. And then I was like, one day I want to triumphantly return to Swansea. And then, was it like 3 years ago or something? I didn't have much work, so was doing some promo work. And then I went and did this promo job in Swansea High Street, handing out free cans of Pepsi Max. And I was like, fuck yes, the triumphant return. If only my professor walked past me now, I'd show him. But, yeah, that was a real fun job.
Look at me now.
I kind of thought it would like a couple of like doing some like normal work would like really spur me on to be more business minded and like send more emails and try and hustle a bit more with like filmmaking. But I just came home every day and I was like, fucking hell, I'm like really tired. And then my brother and his girlfriend, who both have like real jobs, were just sitting there being like, yeah, like no shit. Like, welcome to our world, you fucking dick. And I was like, oh, good. You do this every day. You get up at 9 and then like come back at some. Well, not even get up, and I was fucking. I mean, it was quite a physical job though. You are hustling, shifting those Pepsi cans. It was basically a game of getting rid of as much Pepsi as fast as possible. There's supposed to be like one per customer, but you'd be taking in like 4 crates into game and being like, lads, who wants free Pepsi? And they're like, yeah, best day ever. It was fun, man. You make loads of friends when you're handing out free Pepsi. Once there was like one of the cancer charity women. Obviously we're both in the same area, both like hustling people, but she's trying to get money off them for cancer, and I'm handing out free cans of Pepsi. Proper joking, like, you're causing it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm more popular than I know. Good times. You meet people. Fucking hell, yeah. I like meeting people. Like any job that involves meeting people, I'm pretty happy with.
Okay, cool. Then you did Birmingham.
Yeah.
Any likes, dislikes?
Birmingham. I mean, it was like fucking fun. Oh my god. So I was like living with students in Selly Oak, but I was just like a pretend student. I was like filming student, like working at student nightclubs, photographing shit. And then I joined some of the societies. I joined the photography society, the clothing society, the night talking society, and just like kind of anyone else. And I went to the other one. There's 2 unis in Birmingham. It was sick.
Yeah,
So
you got the uni experience.
yeah, mate. And then I go partying and I'd be getting paid.
Fuck yeah.
I went on Tuesday nights was 90s night, and I got paid 30 quid for like night photographing and some editing the next day, but I got 10 free drinks. And then I realized you could photocopy the 10 free drinks vouchers. And then just whoever you wanted to give 10 free drinks to, it's just like, yeah, you're sad, do you want 10 free drinks? You make a lot of friends when you're just handing out 10 free drinks.
Oh god.
I think that club went under for some reason. I don't know what happened, but
Which one
yeah.
is it?
It's a Subway
Oh
Club
yeah,
in Birmingham.
Subway City. Is that the one?
Subway City.
Is that what it's called? Under the Arches.
Yeah.
I've never actually been. Wait, what year were you in Birmingham?
Oh,
We were,
no, I don't know.
we were there 2008 to 2011.
Okay, yeah, that's probably a bit later.
Mm.
Maybe 2015 or 14 or 13.
I'm wondering, like, because my experience in Birmingham was not that.
Oh man, it was like at first 90s night was so much fun. Like for some reason it was just the night that all the like women's societies went to. So it would just be like loads of nurses, loads of fucking medics, whatever, teachers. Like, it's like really, really fun. And then slowly, I don't know, I guess everyone heard that this was like the best place. And all the dudes came and they came hard, and then I just slowly started dying, and then it moved venues, and then they just like went to shit, and then it became quite a depressing job in the end. But I mean, no, I always loved 90s night, but there were bigger fish to fry.
Okay, any dislikes about Birmingham?
I mean, you know, it feels like I lived there for 3 years, and it's like, oh yeah, I know, like there's 3 cool places. You know, there's like some cool places in Digbeth, in Moseley or King's Heath. There were some cool places, but they were few and far between. And then you come to Bristol, it's like wherever you're walking, you pass a cool place. You know, I remember for the first times I came here, like I just moved in with my brother. I was just talking to some girl on the internet, and she was like, "You should go to Star and Garter." So I was like trying to walk to the Star and Garter, and then I walked past the fucking Duke of York, and it's covered in Salvador Dali murals, and it's just like sick. Like,
Yeah.
and then the Star and Garter turns out it closed down at that time, but then it's reopened now, and it's like pretty good. And I get loads of big fucking names in there.
Any dislikes about Bristol then?
No mountains. If they could bring mountains here, like the problem, lots of mountain towns, they're just like not very diverse. And I don't know, like the culture's just a little bit boring. Like I love Alaska with all my heart, but they say it's like going to be a great party on Saturday, and it's like a live band playing till 11, and it's just like, okay, this is not really what I had in mind. You know, I remember once I thought we were going to a rave, and then we're in like the truck camper that we're living in the car park in this like ski resort. And someone was, oh, should we like, we were getting pumped up, like smoking some dudes, like, yeah. And then should we have a listen to Spotify? And then we put it on, and it's just like kind of quite slow, emo-y, like I don't know what. And I was like, oh my god. And then to be fair to the dude, he fucking kind of smashed it. And I guess this is one of my points, is like he'd come from somewhere else, from the lower 48, as Alaskans called it, and moved to Alaska. And then he was like, yeah, man, I just like love being Alaskan. And everyone went fucking mental for it. And it was just like, it feels like they're more generous with their identity, or like calling Alaska a home, because almost everybody has come from somewhere else to Alaska. You know, there's not that many people who grew up there. So it's like transplants, they're called. And it's just like quite like, oh yeah, I came from so-and-so, I came from so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. So it just feels more welcoming and more open with it than, you know, Bristol. I've lived in Bristol for, I don't know, 7 years or something. And it's like you go to a festival and someone says, where are you from? And you say Bristol, and they're like, yeah, but yeah, are you from Bristol? And it's like, I mean, no, I wasn't born in Bristol, but you know, I've like spent about as much time there as I have anywhere else, and all of my friends are there, and it's for the most, the vibe of home, I guess I get when I'm driving down the M32. Like always when I'm coming home and I'm driving to fish ponds, or that's always do a lot. And it's
I thought it was just me when I'm driving down the M30.
oh man, it makes me happy. I don't
but I got that feeling before I moved here.
yeah. I've done it like so many times, middle of the night, like 10-hour drives, and it's like, I'm home. But then it's like, okay, I'm not Bristolian, I was born in Bristol. And then Chamonix, of course, I don't speak French, and it's like, I'm never going to be from Chamonix, but fuck me, it's like, obviously, like, you're not from anywhere. And then you go to Alaska, and everyone's just like, fuck yeah, man. I mean, either you say you want to live in Alaska, and they're either like, fuck yeah, or they're like, do a winter and then see. So I should probably do a winter there before I get too excited. But I feel like I'd love it. I would be so much more productive if I had like a lockdown every other month. I reckon if I was in lockdown, I would be the most efficient, productive, successful human being. But sadly, we are free to roam the world, and I intend to just keep doing that as fucking hard and fast as possible.
That's okay.
But yeah, maybe a natural winter, some long nights, and it'd be like, okay, now Sandro, it's time to.
You're not the only one that has multiple places that feel like home. Maybe that's okay. But
oh no, it's just the winter. It's like whether you can deal with like 4 months of darkness. It's like it's gonna be fucking brutal. So before you say you want to live somewhere, it's like, yeah, okay, come all the time, and then like Kathmandu in the monsoon is fucking minging. When the rain comes, it's like, should I go somewhere else? I spent time there in the monsoon, but yeah, also if I could avoid it, fuck yeah. It's just miserable. And it's not like a Thailand monsoon where it's like boom, half an hour and then finish. It's just like British monsoon, like all day wet.
British monsoon.
And the roads are fucked. So if I was gonna live in Kathmandu, I was thinking about this, like, if I had a bit more money, you wouldn't even need that much money, but you could buy a car there, like a minibus, and you could hire a driver, and then you could just have him working, like a late shift. And whenever you need to go somewhere, you just. I mean, I don't know. I think people need to live there full time to get something like that set up, but it's possible. And then you could fill it with like pink leopard print and neon lights, so little drinks holders. It'll be so sick.
Cool. Now I have a question for each of these places. And that's basically, what do you think makes Greenwich Greenwich? Let's see.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like I really know enough about Greenwich to answer that. I just think about the observatory and the Meridian Line and all the Navy shit. Was it the Cutty Sark? Is that there? So yeah, my view of Greenwich is definitely not a locals.
Okay.
But
what about Sussex?
Sussex. I don't know. Semi-rural. Bus shelter, cider drinking. Long walks home from school. Hitchhiking everywhere. It's fun. Yeah, I mean, it was cool. I had like a super solid like little group of friends who all like walked home together. We're all from the same little village. It was fucking lovely. Yes, it's there's this family, these 3 girls, 3 sisters, and they're all like very beautiful and very successful, so insanely intelligent. They're like so sound. Big up the channels.
Then Swansea. What makes Swansea Swansea?
I mean, I don't know. I just think of there's like lots of beautiful things, especially around Swansea. There's a very, very beautiful beaches, the Mumbles and the Gower, and then there's a lot of heroin and drug abuse. You go like 1 kilometre inland. So I guess yeah, I've got kind of straight. I thought so I spent a lot of time in Oceania, which I can't really hold that against Swansea because it was my choice to go there, but still, it was in Swansea, so I guess. I don't know. I guess I changed quite a lot when I went to Birmingham. I kind of found my. I was going to some like dubstep nights and shit in Swansea, but I wasn't so familiar with the party scene.
Yeah. Okay. So what makes Birmingham Birmingham?
Digbeth, a lot of my memories are from Digbeth. It's kind of big, sprawling council estate, or not council estate, industrial estate area, which had lots of like little reggae club that played dub and stuff, and some of the rave warehouses, and they're like the Motions.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the club ended up getting sold off to Motions.
Yeah, that changed after we were there because Digbeth was in every city they have this area where they just like go like do whatever you want.
Yeah,
but it wasn't exactly like that when we were there.
I think I missed the golden
We still
times.
went Club 11 or whatever.
Lab 11.
Lab
yeah,
11.
Lab 11. It's like the Custard Factory. I think I missed the really good raves in the Custard Factory. It sounds like there were some fucking mad ones like the year before I got there, but there was loads of cool shit happening. There's like those street art festivals, like graffiti festivals. I was living with street artists. There's fucking good raves. There's house parties, getting stopped by the police, and then you go to another house party that's like midday or something like that.
Then what makes Bristol Bristol?
Oh god, yeah. I mean, a lot of the same kind of partying, even better partying, just the best party, the best people. I feel like in Bristol, just all the time you walk past groups or you're like seeing these groups of people and you're like, fucking, I could be their best friend, It's just like everyone just on a level. Like, I don't know, there's so many nice people here who see the world in a very similar way to how I see it, and I don't know. You kind of feel like the world could almost be better when you're in Bristol, and then we vote for Brexit, and you're like, oh right, yeah, no one else in the UK is thinking this hard about co-ops. It's like all my friends in Bristol are talking about fucking cooperatives. And I'm not entirely sure it's the answer, but fucking hell, it's better talking about that than what they're talking about in some of the other cities in the UK. But I don't know. I don't want to generalize, obviously. But yeah, it's just like a very attractive sound up here, and I'm sure it's changing. But in Chamonix, it's like there's so many Bristol people in Chamonix. It's like so nice. I was just living with a dude. He had he had a hat with Bristol on it, had tracksuits with Bristol on it. Turns out it's from a Japanese designer who made this like imaginary Bristol FC. I don't know. He was sound as fuck, the nicest guy.
Cool. Then we got what have we got left? Kathmandu. What makes Kathmandu Kathmandu?
Kathmandu. I think of dust. I feel like I'm exploring Kathmandu. In Nepal and generally, it's like there's so much cool new shit to explore. And in Kathmandu, you can find these like organic cafes that sell weed, and there's like no other Westerners about. And I'm sure people know about it and go there, but you're there and you always feel like, oh wow, I've discovered it. And it's like a little secret, and it's just so chill. I mean, and then all your friends start throwing fucking cigarette butts on the floor, and you're like, come on, lads. It's like the beautiful organic cafe, and you're just fucking throwing shit everywhere. But obviously, yeah, you got to pick your battles, haven't you? It's interesting engaging with a culture that's kind of more different to mine than European ones. I think I'm pretty chill. I kind of know where I am more or less in Europe, but yeah, it's fun. It's super fun.
And what makes Alaska Alaska?
Man, like the lives you can lead in Alaska are just fucking insane. Like, I broke my tooth while I was out there the second week of a 5-week trip on a what's it? How do you even break a tooth on a what's it? And I'm like, shit, I don't want to leave it open. I don't really want to go to a dentist in America, but also if I come back to the UK, like I don't have an NHS dentist here, so it's like I'm still gonna have to go private. So I'm like, fuck, okay, I may as well just go get it sorted. So I go to the dentist. My friend recommended one. Dentist is like wonderful. It costs $600 for the filling. But then the dentist has a plane and loves skiing and loves climbing in mountains in the Himalaya. And he's like, "What are you doing on the weekend? Do you want to come ski flying?" And then I go and meet him, strap my skis onto the pylons of the wings. We fly off. And this is like a gay dude who grew up in Montana, quite like conservative, didn't come out until he was 30, and then moves to Alaska, meets a guy who's into hunting, teaches him to fly, the guy teaches him to hunt, and then like every weekend they fly off into the Alaska range and shoot a deer or catch a salmon or go skiing or just like, how sick is that? Like that could be your life. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
So to anyone who's in the closet in Montana, move to Alaska and get a plane. That's my advice.
There's some salmon in these.
Oh, it's fucking sick, mate. I was living with a dude for a few days who like lived in this year, and he had 3 snowmobiles, 2 to play in the mountains, 1 to collect wood from the forest. He caught his own salmon, grew his own weed, collected his own wood, bought big bags of rice. He's married to a heady ski guide, and he's an ice climbing guide. And every day he was just have like on the snowmobile, and then it's like world class ice climbing or skiing, snowmobile ride away. The fuck? But how can that what? But then there's no drum and bass, so you know. So basically, my 5-year plan is to bring drum and bass to Alaska, and then it'll be perfect. And hope that there's like a carbon neutral supersonic flight available in 5 years' time. Then voila, nailed it.
I think that's not a big ask.
Do it for me. The new plane's like, it's going to be 20% more efficient. You're like, wow, okay, we've solved it. Brilliant. Problem over, guys. We could just go fucking £20 easy jetting all day long. I mean, it's mad how much the trains cost. Like, I feel like, why don't you just make the planes 200 quid and the trains 20 quid, and then boom, problem solved. If you want to get the plane, get the plane, but it's cheaper to fly there anyway.
I know. Well, no. Are you attracted to any other places that you haven't lived in though? Like you just.
I mean, I was attracted to Innsbruck for a while. Like for a long time, I thought Innsbruck would be my like place in the world.
Yeah.
And then I went there and decided that it wasn't my place in the world.
What's the moment that you thought that?
I mean, it's just, you know, like with Chamonix, I was like, I wish it was a bit bigger. You know, everyone, it's just like all your friends work in the service industry, which is great, but I don't know, it's a bit weird feeling every single place you go, someone knows you. I mean, it's great. I fucking love it. You walk through town and it takes 45 minutes because you just bump into so many people. There's like so many things I love. But it's been a few times where it's like, it'd be nice to hide. You just can't hide. But maybe you shouldn't have to hide. So yeah, it'd be like nice if it was bigger, and it'd be nice if I spoke the language. So they speak French. I luckily speak some German. So it seems easier to find a place to live that's German speaking. But Innsbruck, not the one. And in fact, there was almost all the people I really got on with in Innsbruck were like immigrants. Like there was this Gambian bouncer in the nightclub, and I was like, "Pro, like, where's the party at?" And he was like, "Not in Tyrol," and I was like, "Well, if the bouncer's saying that, it's like, man." And like in Austria, I went to a fucking Meerhofen ski resort, and they were playing like music, and like we were dancing up in the South ski place, and there's this group of like proper fancy looking, I'm assuming Austrians, and they were like literally like dancing, like taking the piss out of us. It was like dancing like morons, like look at these idiots, and it was just like, what the fuck, you know, like you're not going to enjoy yourself, but you're going to take the piss out of other people enjoying themselves, like. don't know. I didn't love it. But it's funny, like, when I was in America, I went to Hawaii. I loved Hawaii. I got invited to all these house parties and met all these amazing people. Went on a sailing trip, had the best 420, one of the best 420s. I had some good 420s. So good. And then in Alaska, so good. Met so many people. But then one of the dudes from Alaska invited his parents had this place in Orange County in Newport Beach. It's like fancy as fuck. And I thought it was going to be like the delicious cherry on my like American dream, fuck, so good. And then I get there and it's like, everyone is so beautiful and they all like fucking know it. I think then the only interesting person I met on that whole trip was like homeless Vietnam vet on the bench, like safe for her. Oh, fucking hell, it was intense, man. I mean, I did do some shrooms and then wander around trying to take photos of people, but I feel like I was doing it in a really friendly, chatty, and nice way. And people had no time. But there is a very small chance that I was just like that weird British dude, like chatting absolute shit. Occasionally, I guess.
Cool. And where would you not consider living?
Where would I not consider living? I mean, I don't know. I feel like countries that have got like quite big segregation between races would be difficult. I wouldn't enjoy that very much. I haven't been to South Africa, so I can't say shit, but it's kind of weird, all my friends are like, oh, it's great psytrance raves, and it's like only white people there about it. And it's like, like in Israel, it's like, they were partying, but it's like, I doubt there was any, I don't know, was there Palestinian people at that rave?
Yeah.
It's just like kind of weird to be like having big parties and then knowing that there's parts of society very nearby. Not that this obviously justifies what happened or anything, but I want everyone to be invited to the party. And the poor ones, like, we're on Everest and we've got this VIP base camp tent, fancy fucking tent, TV, everything. And we do our first rotation. Tony's a bit sick, my client who I was filming. And we think we're going to fly back to Kathmandu for like 5 days rest in the fancy hotel. And me and the other cameraman are like, okay, we'll walk down to base camp and then we'll all fly to Kathmandu. And then in the morning, they're like, you can fly in the heli. So we fly down in the heli. I think, fuck yes, so much fun. It was so good. And then we get to base camp and they're like, yo, there's no more helis to Kathmandu, so you're just staying here. So we were like, oh shit, I'd much rather like walk through the ice fall and spend time in a nice fancy hotel. But anyway, okay, we've got this big VIP tent. Like, let's have a party. Fuck yeah, okay, we're gonna have a party. We're gonna have a party. And I wanted to fight like my best friend in the park, Manish. He's a fucking chiller. And the Sherpa dude running the expedition company was like, you can't invite any Nepalis. And it was like, what the fuck?
Okay.
That's bullshit.
Okay.
So it's weird when there's these, especially if I don't understand them.
Yeah.
But there's like imbalances sometimes.
Okay.
And of course, I mean, like in Alaska, there's fucking endless imbalances as well. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh man, depressing as fuck. The native people. If you're not careful, like the only native person you'd see would be on the side of the road in the snow. But I made a film with a dude in Whitehorse in Canada, the Yukon Territory. He was such a sick guy, but he spent the entire night just looking for booze, basically. Well, he was a natural performer. He was so good on camera. Just running around, skateboarding, making friends with people. He met so many different characters. And he ended up sleeping in my hotel room one night, and then the next day I was trying to I was going to change my flight. I was going to go back to Utah, but then I wanted to go back to Alaska instead. So I had to call up Delta Airlines or whatever. and this dude wakes up and drinks like, I don't know, a quarter bottle of vodka. And then we go to like the one little kind of hipstery coffee shop in the town. And I'm ordering him like quiche and fucking whatever. Doesn't eat or drink anything I get him, and just gets like super drunk. And then just like, yeah, bit of a rampage. So after 3 days of partying, suddenly the downsides of having an alcoholic friend reared their heads. Like, you sound. And I just wouldn't leave my hotel room, but yeah.
Okay.
Patrick, big up.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's fucking depressing. Like,
I've got a few more of the questions, and then we can chat a bit more. But because you've had a crazy experience going back and forth. Like, so.
Okay, is this the kind of stuff you want? I don't know. I feel like
Yeah. I mean, you have moved a lot more than the people that I talked to, but still, I had someone that moved to 10 different places. So maybe we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you're there. You're getting there. I think you might be the one that's moved the most, if we count the ones that
But
you
yeah, but
considered
it's like,
as
I don't
well.
know. It's like, because I'm just always traveling, so it's just like I kind of go visit the places every year, every 6 months, every 3, whatever. So it's like I haven't. The longest I stay in a place is like 2 months maximum, but
Yeah, that's
I've
part
done
of
it
how the
so
experience is.
often that it's like, yeah, it kind of feels like I have these little
Yeah.
hubs of connections all over.
I've asked everyone, so what do you think is basically your main priorities when choosing where to live? You've talked about
Skiing, drum and bass, a friendly scene, good party people, good ski people, just good luck, as many good people as I can find. I'd love to live in a commune. Like, there's some crazy commune set up somewhere in Alaska. Fuck yeah. If anyone wants to come.
What is it with that crazy commune in Alaska then? Because I've heard that.
Oh, was there actually a crazy commune in Alaska that went?
No, it's literally the vision that Amelia has for her dream place as well.
No.
Has that tattooed as well.
Well, a tattoo.
Yeah, well,
Of
kind
what?
inspired.
Well, Alaskan wilderness.
Yeah. It's
Oh.
not a common.
Not just wilderness. There is a lodge, yeah.
Well, it still looks like the wilderness, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Little deer and mountains and forests. And tons of that shit. The drive, like, you drive 15 minutes out of Anchorage and there's this giant, like, mouth of the river full of ice and then these mountains on the other side. It's just like, shit, this is so beautiful. 15 minutes out. It's like everywhere you go, it's just fucking insane.
Yeah, I'm not that bothered.
Can we do a tactical pause on the podcast so I can
Yeah.
pee break?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm gonna.
This mango